어제도 뭐 드렸는데 못 받았다고 그 메일로 보냈었는데 제가 그냥 한 번에 올릴게요. 캐릭터 자르고. 네.
사람이 기다리고 있어서 바로 즉시 업로드하는 거.
저도 그러고 싶었는데 네. 돈 물어주는 걸 방지하려고 잘 봐서 이제 네 라이센스를 자르고.
배터리 혹시라도 됐습니다.
네, 뭐 고장 나면 좋죠.
네?
녹음이 안 되는 거 아닌가요? 고장 나면?
안 돼요.
그럼 저희 영어 발음이 밖으로 새나가지 않게 되기 때문에.
대문짝만 하게 걸어요.
영어를.
그러면 홈페이지에 직접 업로드 해주시고요.
네네.
메일을 꼭 전달해달라고.
네, 이거 끝나고 제가 저희 가가지고 자르고 보낼게요.
아, 예, 감사합니다. 업로드도 직접 부탁드려요.
네, 뭐 슬라이드 쉐어 이런 데 올려서 링크 걸어도 되나요?
우리 업로드하는
걔가 없어요?
있어요.
아, 있어요?
슬라이드가 혹시 어제 올려주신
좀 다릅니다.
다른가요?
네.
그러면 지금
그 발표 자료에
네.
라이센스 걸린 이미지들이 있어가지고 잘라가지고 드릴게요.
네, 알겠습니다.
발표 끝나고 첫 페이지에 딱 적어놨습니다. 어제 누가 물어봐가지고 캐릭터 사용권 냈냐고 그래서 헉 안 냈는데요. 그래서 그거 이미지 쓰려면 몇백만 원 들 텐데요. 그래가지고 학술 발표니까 아닌가? 뭐 누가 그렇게 또 링크 어느 커뮤니티 링크를 보여주면서 여기 보세요 했더니 저는 이제 인생 망했고요.
커뮤니티에 또 그런 게 하는 애들이 있나 보죠? 팬클럽이 있어가지고 그걸 찾아다니면서
찾아가지고 이거 이미지 사용권은 낸 건가? 뭐 이런 글들이 있더라고요. 그래가지고
거의 매직 커뮤니티 윙링의 수준이라고 윙링이라고 생각했는데 온리 잉글리시라고 썼는데 사람들이 많이 들어왔나?
뭐 제 영어는 한국어처럼 들릴 거기 때문에.
앞에 간단하게 짧게 한 1분 가이드
네.
하고
어제는 제가 46분인가 썼는데요. 오늘은 30분이더라고요. 시간이. 근데 PT는 한 6장 늘었거든요. 그래서 달릴 거예요. 하긴 제가 영어로 농담하는 재주가 없기 때문에 시간을 끌 부분이 없어졌습니다.
이거 얘기하고 바로 지금 얘기하고 바로 시작하는 거.
Hello. So this session is about the title is a special session creating AI chatbot with Python 3 and TensorFlow by Jeongkyu. Actually, this session was yesterday. There was a same session yesterday, but it was supposed to be in English, but it was in Korean. So we are redoing it in English. So please welcome Shin Jeongkyu. With applause.
Hello, and thank you. Actually, I prepared for English, but yesterday so I got some requests to present in Korean because of the translator machine problem. But this morning, I also requested to do it again in English. So even though my English is broken, please feel free to enjoy the talk. Yes, I'm Jeongkyu Shin. I'm working on level up, and all member. We are very small company, 3-member company, and all members are speaking in this conference. And I'm also known as the TextCube maintainer, and play some interesting project with some companies. And actually, I was physicist and also neuroscientist, and I studied it more than 9 years, and also major in physics and computer science. So this is my second run, even though it's in English, but I became the first man to get 2 presenter t-shirts officially. So let's go. So I will introduce my garage work today. So in my garage, there are tons of garbage. One of the text cube and some are the memory cube and many projects. But this is my dear project. And this is the first time to make it public. but many of my friends already knew. So this is my favorite sentence, that first with the head and then with the heart. And you read it, and after this presentation, I will show it again, and at that time, you will feel differently from now on. Because I will introduce about the meaning of head and heart. So today, I will tell about Chatbot, and consists of Python 3, and especially for KO-NLPy package and pandas. But today I will skip the pandas part because I prepared more than 100 slides, but I just got 3 minutes. And I will also use the TensorFlow from 1.8 to 9 to nightly build. And I will introduce my idea as a special source. And I use the data from FAS, one of our open source community team project. That's open anti-spam service run for 10 years. But today I will show you the demo with the Idol Master. It's a famous Japanese animation. So, and I will introduce the idea about the multimodal learning models and the training of them. So I'm not sure, but I will try to explain the whole process I did, but time is very short, so I assume that you already experience or did or know the knowledge about the machine learning and TensorFlow. I will treat you like a level 99, okay? So your experience is the highest in that situation. So I will not cover many parts, but I will give the keyword to study or learn. Okay? Skip. So, and in 2013, when I still working in neuroscience field, there was a dinner with many neuroscientists, and we discussed about the weak intelligence. At the time, we made a bet about when we achieve the weak intelligence and pass the Turing test. And I bet to 2020. But from next month, I started to making my chatbot because I want to win. If other people are not doing it, I will lose, okay? So I just started to making my garage bot. So what is Chatbot? Chatbot is just a chatting bot, and one of the oldest HCI-based machine or programs, and also one of the challenging lexical topics. So traditionally, its interface was text, but it became vocal, and now researchers are studying with the BCI interface. And the commercial user interface is messengers now. So everybody knows some messenger-based chatbots already, and also voice chatbot like Siri and the messenger, Facebook app, or maybe what is the name from Google? A and B something. And this is the oldest chatbot named ELIZA, and it doesn't pass the Turing test, but most of people does not recognize it as a machine, so it helps some patients to recover their mental. And okay, every chatbot has the basic component because it's talking, right? So it receives the text or a speech as a lexical input, and we use the natural language processor to process it to machine-readable form, and we extract the context from them and make a decision to make an answer and generate a response and return. And traditional chatbots are using the morphemic analyzer in Korean, it's Jeongkyu, right? And also use the taxonomy analyzer to understand the context. And after that, to make a decision, we use the knowledge base with search engine and make a human readable response with template. But from 3 years ago, the machine learning is heavily adopted to the chatbot making. So many parts are changing to the machine learning and deep learning models. The famous one is the syntax net for the NLP process. So it's opened by Google at April this year. And also there are many deep learning models to make or merging the context analyzing process and decision making process. And for the answer, the Q&A system, the TF-IDF is also widely used for solving that. Actually, I speak about the AT&T user case yesterday, but okay, I will run very fast because I still have many slides. Anyway, it's working very well with Q&A scenarios, especially for the customer service. It's enough, still already enough, but it has the general problems. It does not start conversation, and sometimes it just returns the inhuman or out of context speaking, and of course it does not handle the context switching. For example, I'm IT people, and my friends and I can speak. Sometimes my friends and I start the conversation with many topics like social and political issues, but finally we are talking about IT. So context is moving around the conversation, but current bots cannot handle them. And I'm Korean, so I'm making my bot with Korean, so we have Korean speech problems. Korean is known to be a easy run but hard finish language because the language itself is character is very simple, but it has some specials. For example, 조사 and postpositions. It's very hard. Just one character change can change a whole sentence meanings. So we just call it hell 조사. So it looks like a great war. So that's why we cannot just adopt machine learning chain models from outside of Korea to use with Korean characters. It's very hard. So usually many machine learning chatbots are expected that their input is like a Lego, so they just can cross and just merge or diverge, divide. But in Korea, it's not that easy. It's already finished form, so we cannot just make a joint or merging or combine. It's very hard. So I spent 3 years when I began this process. So I just back to the origin because I know what I study, right? So I study neuroscience. So I just studied again about the language process in the brain. So reflex conversation is just happen in the lateral side of brain, and decision-making process is happening in the frontal and prefrontal area. And language process is divided from the prefrontal and frontal area. It's more related to the temporal area. So when we speaking, we just listen some text, and it is already pre-processed behind the brain, and it's sent to as an information form to the prefrontal area. So prefrontal area divides the task to whole brain and just gather the result from them. And with them, they made the context analyzing and send decision making and send the result to the lateral brain and language area. And language area makes some sentence and return and send to the lateral area, and lateral area combines the sentence and raw information to make a sentence, to a complete sentence. For example, language area can return I'm okay, but the raw information has an anger, so combinated form is I'm okay, right? So to make it short, language process is divided from the context process, okay? Even if I speak in English now, I can also speak in Korean. But the thinking part, the cognition part is the same, okay? 전 한국어로 얘기할 수 있고, and I'm speaking English, but I'm using same brain with different language circuit. So my idea is to disintegrate the language model from the bot model. And we also divide the language model into two parts. One is the grammar part and second is the tone part. So this is the idea. So in the case, we can reconstruct the bot engine like this, disintegrating the sentence into machine readable form and make some context parsing and decision making and pass the raw fragment result to the grammar model, and grammar model can generate the human readable sentence, and tone model will add some tones to that grammar. So I call it multimodal model. So it's serially chained. So input will be disintegrated and passed to the bot model, and bot model will pass the result as a disintegrated form to grammar model, and grammar model will make a sentence, and tone model adds some tones to them. So this is the final structure of my model. So we disintegrate the sentence, and using deep learning model, we make an answer, make decisions, and grammar model analyze the decision and make it the human readable sentence. Isn't it easy? So let's go to making models. When we create machine learning models, we have to prepare the data set first, because what we do will decide what we must make. Okay, there are many kinds of deep learning models and conditions, so we first know the data and our goal. After that, we decide the estimator and optimizer. Estimator is the heart of the deep learning or machine learning models. I will skip it. You already know, right? You are the professionals of deep learning. Okay. Yeah, I know. You don't refer me. Okay. And we define the input and step and evaluator and batch process, and we do training, testing, and predicting. So I will explain with that order. This glowing box will correspond to the box at right top corner. Okay. So we receive normal text and make it fragmented text, and we also convert it to semantic sequence, and we will make the decision as a fragmented text sequence form, and we will convert it to normal text. Okay. So disintegrator, we can use many kind of disintegrator, but in this example, I will use the Twitter Korean analyzer from Twitter. It's very fast. That's the reason why I chose it. There are many kind of morphomic analyzer in Korean, but this is the fastest one, but not that accurate. So I recommend you to use common one or some other package, but it's very slow. But I didn't have enough time to prepare this presentation, so I just used the Twitter Korean analyzer. It was very simple. And this is the example of the disintegrator. 나는 오늘 아침에 된장국을 먹었습니다. That means I ate miso soup in this morning, and after disintegrating process, we will get this morning miso soup with their Thai. Okay, and I will use the original form and disintegrated form data to training the grammar model. Okay, if we give the disintegrate the data as an input of the grammar model and use the original sentence as an output of the grammar model, we can train it. So with one data, we can train two models. So we recycle the data. Okay, I don't have that much time, so I will run more faster. So I made a conversational one model. Well, actually, the RNN is not inappropriate for the one model. Maybe you will use your own model, and for my model, I have very, very long heuristic routines to recognize the context, but I will skip this. And in TensorFlow, it's very, very easy to make some models because every package are already in the TensorFlow, and the famous cell and models are already embedded. And the sklearn is inspired by scikit-learn package. It's a third-party package, but now it's in the TensorFlow. So I recommend to you to start from that package. And the context parser is already with long topic, so I will just skip today. But just to make it short, we can extract the emotion from the sentence, and also we have a context memory to keep the prior context of the continuous conversation, okay? And to extract the emotion, we can use the senti-word net. It divides the emotions into six parts of emotions, and we can get the weight of each emotions. I use the data from senti-space and just to keep the highest form, but this example I was wrong. It should be 5, but I wrote it wrong. Anyway, we just I just made it simple to just bit form. And knowledge engine, this is the heart part of one model to think and make it usable, but I will skip this part. Sentence because there are many studies about the bot engine itself, but in this presentation, the core idea is the separating the grammar model from the BOM model and how to train the grammar and tone models, okay? To achieve my goal, and I will explain what my goal later this slide. And we can, after that, we generate a sentence generator. And I also divide the tone and grammar generator to support male form or female tone or dialect, and Seoul style or Busan style. So to train the grammar generator, we reuse the data from integrator, disintegrator. And this is the model, but I use the GRU cell, but LSTM cell is okay if you have plenty of data, but if you have smaller data, in my case, the GRU cell work better than LSTM case. And skip. And also we can train the tone generator. Why tone is important? Because my final goal is to make a pretty girl chatbot, right? But it's very hard to get the data about the pretty girl, right? So if we divide the tones from the model, we can make many tone models and just change it to make the tone of the sentence. So this is about how to make that tone. And we just detone the data with many heuristic routines, but in this case, we just use the morphomic analyzer. I will show you. And usability is first that sequence-to-sequence model is inappropriate for bot engine, but I think it can be if we just bundle the semantics. I will work about that later. And it really works well with grammar and tone engines. That's important to say. and training, I use the emotion flag for 3-bit and context flag, and supervised learning and reinforcement learning, but I will skip. And I use the FAS comment and reply data from 10 years of the Korean internet. And pre-process with removing non-Koreans and anonymized data. And to train the grammar generator, I use the Korean Gutenberg project. Also for tones, I use the old books, 고전 in Korean, like Boom, Kim Yoo-jung Boom. I just extract the sentence with, what is that? I forgot. Yeah, anyway. So one-page summary is this, but if we receive that sentence, it will change like this form. Okay? Pretty easy, huh? So, but this is not, I promise, that my abstract, because at the last line of my abstract, only opened to the PyCon registered users. I promised to make an anime chatting bot. So I gathered the data source from the subtitle files of animations. And in this example, I used the idol master animation. And this is the data converting process of the caption file to training. So I will also open the, make it public, so you can try with your favorite animations, okay? So I extract the conversations. If the prior sentences ended with a question mark, that sentence and current sentence will be paired as a conversation data, so we can training both. And others, we can use the sentence data to training grammar and tone model. So for today's demo, I simplified the process. I used the simple bot engine, and I merged the grammar model and tone model. And to make to converge it fast, I just use the Rouge parameter set, and there's no knowledge engine, so it's dumb. It can just speak, but it does not think. So let's train it, and trust me, your NVIDIA card can not only can do Overwatch, but you can make your bot and also train the grammar and tone models. And if we use GPU, it's very fast. 100 times faster with grammar model and 4 times faster with one model. And my tip to make an anime bot, do not mix different animation subtitles, okay? I don't know what makes the difference, but I think that the translators, usually the caption files are translated by different translators. So maybe it can affect to final result. And please choose the animation with extreme gender ratio when you study the Japanese animation, because in Korean, no, but in Japanese animation, the tone is very different by the speaker's gender. So just choose boy-only animation or girl-only animation, okay? If you don't, you have to do it manually. You have to divide it manually. When I make an idol master animation, I should delete the producer's part by manual. And today the problem is that list of functions is not working on current master tree. So I made some tricks, and conversation data set is too small now, just 5,000. It's very small size, okay? So I trained it to get the result what I want. You know that even if we train the same model and same data, the result can be different. and sometimes diverse, and sometimes converse. And I use the Telegram API to solve my bot like this. Skip, skip, skip. And this is the result. And this is the script, and I will show you the result. This part, and this part, and this part. Here. Yeah, this is the result, and it's somewhat weird, right? Some sentences are still broken, but actually it works. So we finally created a pretty sad bot, right? Even if character is pretty, but it's pretty sad because the original data source is about that kind of sad situations. It's a failure and recover story, not about the success story. So it's just blue bot. To summary, I covered how to make a garage chatbot in your home and with TensorFlow and Python 3. And my contribution is adopting the multimodal model to Korean specific case and extend to bot to have many tones and grammars. And especially I generated the idea to make a bot, especially for the animation, okay? And next, I got some suggestion from one of the staff here and my wife. They used another animation with only girls. And also, I will finish the anonymization of FS data, and I will move my code base from Cafe to TensorFlow because I'm a Cafe user. And I'm now migrating my code to TensorFlow by preparing this slide. And usually sequence engine is not good for bot engine, but I have an idea to make a semantic bundle and more normalized form, but I will test it. So this is a home assignment for you. If you are a Roboliver, you can do something, right? And if your native language is English, you can make that bot, right? It's very easy because Google, I saw the data at Google I/O, but they support the whole script about their interview. So you can make a Trump bot or Hillary bot. And yeah, I did it for 3 years, but you know why I was doing and I am doing this. I have different goal, right? If you think you do it with your just research proposal or work, you will not do that. But I have some reason to move my heart, to make my bot. So you will understand the meaning of this sentence, somewhat different from the post. And thank you for listening, and slide and code will be available on the website. Thank you.
테스트 진행하시나요?
아직 결정 못했는데요.